My name is Folu Olatona. I'm a consultant public health physician. I work as a senior lecturer at the College of Medicine, University of Lagos. Today I'm talking about malnutrition. Malnutrition is an abnormal physiological condition that is caused by excessive, inadequate, or imbalance of nutrients. There are different types of malnutrition. In a situation where the nutrients that are supplied to the body are in overabundance, there can be overweight or obesity, that is overnutrition. There can also be undernutrition, in which case the nutrients that are supplied to the body are inadequate. It can be in form of macronutrients or micronutrients. That means energy is inadequate, or vitamins and minerals are not adequate. That is called micronutrient deficiency or micronutrient undernutrition. There are also some instances where energy is in abundance, yet micronutrients are deficient, and this combine in one person. That is called double burden of malnutrition, and this usually happens in people who are obese. Such people combine overnutrition with undernutrition at the same time. It's very important to detect malnutrition, especially within the first 1,000 days of life. That period is a critical window where intervention is very important to stop the process of malnutrition, because mothers who are undernourished are likely to give birth to children who are undernourished, and these children will continue to be undernourished because that state of undernutrition right from the womb affects the children until later on in life. But if there's an intervention within the first 1,000 days of life, these children can have a catch-up growth and they can still do well. But if there's no intervention, or if a nutritional injury occurs at that stage, the first 1,000 days of life, that kind of damage can damage different organs in the body, including the brain, and this damage can be irreversible. Intervention that can reverse the nutritional problems, there are many of them, and it's very important to key into this. But how do you know how to intervene without even knowing if a child is undernourished? That brings us to the question of the method of intervention. There are different ways of intervening, different ways of detecting malnutrition, but one important way that is very critical for children is growth monitoring. The process of growth monitoring, the height and weight of the child, including the head circumference, are measured regularly. They're recorded and plotted on a graph, and then this graph is studied by an health care professional to determine the process, the pattern of growth of that child. If the child's growth curve, maybe the weight curve is less than the second percentile, then that child is underweight, and we can find out whether it's a result of chronic undernutrition or acute undernutrition. If the height for age curve is less than the second percentile, then the child is stunted, and that's a sign of chronic undernutrition. But if the weight for height is less than the second percentile, that child is wasted, and that's a sign of acute undernutrition. All these nutritional problems have solutions. If it's not detected, the solutions cannot be instituted. There are different methods of prevention and management of undernutrition. The first one that is usually emphasized is the exclusive breastfeeding. Every child should be exclusively breastfed from birth till 6 months. No water, no addition of drugs or any other thing, only breastfeeding until age 6 months. It's also important that every child should be immunized, because many of the diseases that can make children to tip into undernutrition are vaccine preventable. So if they take the vaccines on time, then they can prevent such diseases, and that would reduce the risk of undernutrition. It's also important for the growth to be monitored consistently. Like I said earlier, food diversification in the community is important. In this part of the world, most people eat only cereals. They don't eat enough protein, and this also is transferred to the child. Many of our children are given only pap for several days, months on end. It's very important that the people are aware of food diversification, and not just to make the food, different foods available, but they should be well educated on how to prepare these foods, because preparation of food can even cause nutritional problem. It can lead to, if the food is not well prepared, if it's not hygienically prepared, it can lead to infection, and this infection can tip a child further into undernutrition. Food diversification is very important. Another method is food fortification. Most of the foods that are available can also be fortified in a local way. For example, children are given pap. This pap can be fortified with crayfish, beans, fish, so that the child is getting micronutrients. It can also be fortified with palm oil so that vitamin A is available for the child. Food supplementation is also important. In some situations, instead of adding nutrients to food as food fortification, nutrients are packaged and given to the child directly. That is food supplementation. For children who have severe acute malnutrition, they can also be given ready-to-eat therapeutic feeds, and these are given in the communities. Those children are no longer admitted in a health facility, but they are allowed to stay in their home and receive these ready-to-eat therapeutic feeds in their community. The target for this detection and intervention in malnutrition include pregnant women, breastfeeding women, and children between 0 and 2 years. Thank you.